Kanju is talking to her colleague, Ligan is secretly watching her and says, "Oh God, she is so beautiful." When Kanju sees him, she finds Lagan's actions quite strange since she had told Lagan that she is his first love. Since then, he has been following her all the time and keeps doing strange acts, which makes Kyung-jo very upset. When Kyung-jo is taking Lagan's therapy session, Lagan says, "Now I am very happy every day because you are with me. You are my first love and I am very happy with this." He starts doing childish activities again, which makes Kanju very angry, but she controls herself. After some time, Professor Han comes to Kanju. And he is very happy because she has agreed to pretend to be Lagan's first love. Professor Han says, "You must have thought a lot to take this decision, but you have taken the right decision." When the research is safe, Kanju says, "I am not doing this for research but for Lagan." If Lagan suspects anything, then he will start trying to recall his past memories. If all his memories come back, he will again become the same unhappy person as before. And our experiment will also fail. "So, being a doctor, I will have to take responsibility," Professor Han says. "You are right. Now that you have decided, all you have to do is rely on the link." They should focus, and both of them meet Liang Ji. Lagan's mom and dad are also present. During this meeting, Lagan tells his parents that Kyung-ju is his first love. Hearing this, Kanju gives in, and Lagan's parents are surprised by the revelation. Lagan's parents invite Kanju to sit with them and begin asking her numerous questions. Kanju remains silent until Professor Han remarks, "Kanju, what are you doing? They asked you something, you should answer." Kanju finally responds, "My name is Kyung-ju. I am a psychiatrist, 28 years old, and currently single. I live with my mom and nephew." Lagan's father comments, "My son never talked about girls before. At one point, I even began doubting his masculinity. But now I see there's no reason to worry." Lagan's mom then asks, "By the way, when did you both meet?" Kanju hesitates, unsure of how to answer, but eventually says, "We met when we were children." Lagan chimes in, "We were 13 years old at the time." Curious, Lagan's mom probes further, "How did you both meet?" Kanju, feeling overwhelmed, replies, "You're all being so kind and showing so much interest, but our relationship isn't as special as you think. You don't need to treat me so warmly." Lagan, however, counters, "No, you deserve all this attention. I vividly remember the time you saved me when I was drowning in the river." Lagan's parents are shocked by this revelation and thank Kanju sincerely for saving their son's life. This newfound admiration from Lagan's parents makes Kanju uneasy, as she knows she isn't Lagan's first love. Later, outside the hospital, Kanju mutters to herself, "Oh man, all of this is driving me crazy. If this continues, I don't think I'll be able to go along with it. I need to set things straight with Lagan." As she's lost in thought, she notices Lagan approaching her, looking dashing in a suit and holding a rose. Kanju panics internally, thinking, "He's not going to propose to me. Is he?" Her anxiety intensifies when she spots Dr. Tai nearby. Lagan kneels and is about to propose when Kanju blurts out, "I already have a boyfriend." Lagan is stunned. Kanju clarifies, "I'm saying this so you don't develop deeper feelings for me. I am your first love. It does not mean that something can happen between us." Lagan says, "You are lying because looking at you, it doesn't seem that you have a boyfriend." Kanju says, "Why do you think so?" Lagan says, "Since I have been in the hospital, you keep an eye on me day and night and do not go home. Even right now, you are only thinking about your work. I don't think you even have time for yourself." Kanju responds, "Who told you all this nonsense? Look, I have recently started dating, and we are currently in a secret relationship, which is why no one knows." Lagan says, "You keep working in the hospital for 24 hours, so when did you go on a date?" Kanju says, "Look, the thing is that my boyfriend works in this hospital." Hearing this, Lagan gets shocked and starts asking who he is. At the same time, Dr. Tai says hi to Kanju, and Kanju also says hello to him lovingly, seeing which Lagan understands that Dr. Tai is the boyfriend. In the next scene, we see Lagan doing exercise in the gym of the hospital, and Gu Bang is also present there. Lagan says, "I have found my first love, and also her boyfriend." He is about to tell Gu Bang who the boyfriend is, but before he can say anything, Lagan says that he is my doctor. Gu Bang is not surprised that Lagan now considers Kanju as his first love. He feels as if she is his first love. Lagan asks, "Have I ever told you about my first love?" Then Gu Bang says, "You just told me that she saved your life, but I am against whatever is going on with your first love." Lagan asks why, and Gu Bang says, "I just feel that that girl is not right for you. She must be meeting a lot of boys." This is why Lagan takes Kanju to Dr. Tai. When he sees Kanju with her, and Kanju is smiling a lot, Lagan says, "I am sure that my first love's boyfriend looks very dirty." On hearing this, Gu Bang asks, "Are you feeling jealous?" Then Ligon says, why would I be jealous of that ugly-looking person? I don't care much about her boyfriend, but the truth is that he is feeling very jealous. Then we see Listen in the police station being interrogated about Ligon's accident. The officer says that the one who fell in the water is your elder brother. Listen says, you are right, but right now after the accident he does not remember anything, so whatever you want to know, you can ask me. The officer says, you were the one who called 911 that day to report your brother's suicide attempt. So, were you present there the day the accident happened? Listen says, actually my brother had a little argument with my parents that day. When it was over, he had left the house, so I went after him to console him. He went and was sitting on the bridge of Han River. At that time he was very sad, so I thought that we should leave him alone for a while. When he calms down, I will talk to him. I started leaving from there, then I heard the sound of something falling into the river. I turned and saw that Lee Gun was not on the bridge because he had jumped into the river. So, I quickly went under the bridge and called 911. The officer says, according to the paramedic log, when they got there, you had already pulled your brother out of the water. Listen says, yes, I pulled him out of the water, and when the paramedics came, they gave CPR to Ligon. His head was badly injured, so he had to undergo surgery in the hospital, the officer says. Even though he was your brother, it is not easy to do this. You did a very good job. But the man who jumped down from the bridge, well, it is almost impossible to go under the bridge in such a short time and take him out of the water alive. I don't know how you managed to do it. At that very moment, Mr. Hong comes there and says, I am the president of Listen's agency, and I have come here as his lawyer. Then both of them come out and start talking. Mr. Hong says, we do not want to make this matter public. Listen does not want to embarrass his family because of this allegation about the accident. You must know that Lee H. Shen is going to represent his country from next month. So I just want him not to be worried all the time because of this accident. He has to focus on the upcoming games. We have to focus on training. After that, we see Lee Sin and Mr. Hong outside the police station. Listen says, are you thinking of using this incident to renew my contract then, Mr. Hong says, do you understand me? Whether to renew the contract or not is your choice, but understand one thing clearly, that rumors always spread from people close to you. In the next scene, we see Kyung-ju and Dr. Tae talking directly. From their conversation, we come to know that the news has spread throughout the hospital that Kanju is Ligon's first love. Dr. Tae puts his hand on Kanju's shoulder and starts talking to her. Lee Gun is secretly watching them both. We see the feed tower ring on Kanju's hand, which was gifted to her by Dr. Tae on her birthday. She keeps it very carefully. Lee Gun feels very jealous after seeing them together. He takes off his slippers and hits Dr. Tae on the back, then hides. When Kyung-ju sees him, he gets very angry. Later, when Kyung-ju is having lunch with Dr. Tae in the canteen, Ligon is also sitting at the side table. He has ordered a lot of food from outside, thinking that by offering so much tasty food, Kyung-ju will come to have lunch with him. However, his plan backfires when, instead of Kyung-ju, Dr. Tae starts having lunch with him and asks, how are you now? Ligon says, I am not well at all. Dr. Tae says, no problem, you will get well soon. Kyung-ju is getting very angry because she had planned to have lunch with Dr. Tae, but Ligon ruins the whole plan. As she starts to leave, she bumps into a man, causing food to fall on her clothes. Lee Gun quickly comes to her and asks if she is okay and gives her a tissue. Kyung-ju says, I don't want it. I will go to the bathroom and clean it. An emergency patient comes to the hospital, so Dr. Tae leaves for work, which makes Kyung-ju a little sad. So Ligon says food had fallen on you, but the man hasn't even come to see you. He doesn't care about you at all, and I am the one who cares about you so much, but you always behave rudely with me. Kyung-ju says, you stop behaving like this because I am someone else. Ligon says, so what? I will still try my best to change your decision. Kyung-ju says, no matter how much you try, nothing will change. Then Kyung-ju starts talking to herself, saying, it is very difficult to pretend to be a first love because the beginning of our relationship was bad. On top of that, I have to pretend to know that I had saved his life. What a headache it is. By the way, when he was young, he was like water. She must have been shocked by this. She must be afraid of the river. Then how could she have jumped into the water to commit suicide? She gets lost in thought. Then we see Listen, who is training. His mom is shouting and asking what mistake he is making and what he should do. Then his dad says, what are you doing? He is very tired now, just listen when he is on break for 10 minutes. Then Mr. Hong comes there with a lot of new tennis balls. Listen's mom says, "Did you go to the police station with Listen?" Mr. Hong says, "I have had a good talk with the police officer, so you don't need to worry about anything." Listen's mom sees him signing the new balls and asks Mr. Hong, "What are you making him do?" Mr. Hong says, "I am not making him do anything. Listen is not making me get new balls. He was asked to bring balls." Listen says Gu Bang is a school teacher, so he requested me to come to his school to meet the children who want to become tennis players and encourage them. Listen's mom comes to know this, and if her dad knew, she gets very angry at him. Listen's mom says, "You must know that she has a match tomorrow, so how did you give her permission for this? She should take maximum rest before the match." Mr. Hong gets angry because his wife got angry at him and even hit him. Listen tells his mom that it's just a matter of time. It won't take much time. So you stay more. Don't worry, you told Dad too much, so convince him now. His mom apologizes to his dad and convinces him. Gu Bang tells the children that famous tennis player Listen is coming to meet them. So they are all very happy. Meanwhile, Lee Gun comes to the agency well-dressed, but this time he does not park the car himself and asks the guard to park it. The girl who opens the gate for him shakes his hand. He thanks her and comes inside the office saying, "Okay guys, now I am here. I came to know that I work here." Mr. Hung is in a meeting, but Lee Gun directly comes inside. Mr. Hung says, "Look who has come." "I thought you had left the job because you disappeared without noticing Lee Gun's behavior," Mr. Hung says. "Lizzie told me you were sick. Did you get a head injury?" Lee Gun sits on the table and says, "Honestly, I want you to take good care of me in the future. Even though I have lost my memory, I have not lost my analytical skills. That is why I am donating my talent to this company." After listening to his words, Mr. Hung says, "It seems that you have lost your mind because of the injury." When Lee Gun looks at Chasen's file, he says, "This girl is doing a good job, isn't she? You are running your agency well. Take care, I'm leaving, it's time for me to go." Mr. Hung says, "Just wait, okay, let's see what you can do. If you succeed in getting Chasen's contract, then your job in this agency is confirmed for life. If you understand, then tell me what you say." Lee Gun says yes to this deal. When he comes out of Mr. Hung's cubicle, he says to himself, "I don't know why, but I don't like this man at all." Meanwhile, Nurse Ligon in the hospital comes to Ligon's room to see him, but he is not there. Only his clothes are on the bed, which makes the nurse very worried. She asks if he has run away again, but then Ligon comes out of the bathroom and says, "You are useless. I am right here." The nurse says, "Have you completed the test paper I had given you?" Ligon has completed it, and the nurse starts coming to the reception with the paper. Then the nurse comes to drop Ligon off and asks, "Why are you behaving so kindly today?" Then Ligon, without wasting time, comes to the topic and asks, "Does the doctor have a girlfriend?" The nurse says, "I don't know. By the way, why are you asking? Are you interested in her?" Ligon says, "Yes, I am interested, but not in the way you are thinking." Ligon sees the same ring with the nurse's Kanju had, so he asks the nurse about it. The nurse tells him that when Dr. Tai was on business in Paris, he brought many similar key rings with him, which he gave to all the members of our lab. Actually, the thing is that Dr. Tai is very stingy. Even if he gets a girlfriend, I don't think he would spend even a little money on her. After listening to the nurse's words, Lee Gun starts wondering whether Kanju had lied to him about dating Dr. Tai. Just then, Dr. Tai arrives there, so Lee Gun makes fun of him and goes away from there. This is where episode 5 ends. So guys, how did you like this episode? Do tell me by commenting. If you liked this video of mine, then do like it. To see the explanation in the next episode, subscribe to the channel. I will meet you in the next video. Take care, bye-bye.